From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. Liberal leadership candidate Mark Carney says he will run for a seat in Parliament no matter who wins the race. But after the Liberals' French language debate last night, his position at the front of the pack doesn't seem to be in question.
Carney was under attack during the debate as he stumbled speaking in French, but not from his fellow candidates. Conservatives sent out a steady stream of points against him, from a flub he made talking about Hamas in French to a lack of specifics on his plan to cap immigration. Meanwhile, Chrystia Freeland, Frank Bayless, and Karina Gould have all fallen behind Carney in polling, endorsements, and fundraising, but they pulled their punches on Monday night's French language debate. Trying to woo Quebec and Francophone Liberals, they all nodded along to the importance of standing up to Donald Trump and protecting supply management. Kyle Duggan, The Canadian Press, Montreal.
The four candidates will face off again in tonight's English language debate, also in Montreal. Ontario's election campaign is inching closer to voting day Thursday, with all four party leaders hitting the trail hard today in all kinds of Ontario cities and towns. And it's definitely been a challenge campaigning in wintertime. Falling down stairs, even canceling events are just some of the challenges candidates and leaders have faced. But Saul Mamakwa may have them all beat. The incumbent NDP candidate for Kiewit-Inong in northwestern Ontario has rented a plane with skis so he can visit some of the 24 fly-in First Nations communities in his nearly 300,000 square kilometer riding. At a cost of $6,000 to $8,000 per day for the plane with skis, Mamakwa is limited to just a few days.
If I'm going to do 3 communities, at the most will be 2.5 hours in each community, which is not a whole lot of time. Almost like it's just a meet and greet. It's important that at least to do that, right? Like, especially in a snap election.
Another earthquake has struck off the British Columbia coast.
A post on X from Emergency Info BC Monday night said a 5.2 magnitude earthquake struck west of Port Ellis, a community on northwest Vancouver Island. The agency added there was no risk of a tsunami and there have been no reports of damage or injuries. This is the second earthquake in British Columbia in 4 days after a 4.7 magnitude trembler struck off the southwest coast on Friday, northeast of Sechelt. David Bowles, The Canadian Press.
The Toronto Film Critics Association has decided the best Canadian feature of last year goes to a mind-bending dramedy set in an alternate reality Winnipeg. Winnipeg writer-director Matthew Rankin and his co-writer accepted the $50,000 prize at a glitzy bash last night for their movie Universal Language.
It's a movie which is really about people being very nice to each other. And I feel like that's what actually audiences have responded to. The fact that it's a very gentle film in a point in history which is anything but gentle.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, it was a light night in the NHL last night. Just 2 games were on the schedule. The Winnipeg Jets' Josh Morrissey scored the tying goal in the last 26 seconds of regulation, and Mark Scheifele got the winner 93 seconds into overtime as Winnipeg rallied to beat San Jose 2-1 for their franchise record 10th straight win. And the Los Angeles Kings skated to a 5-2 victory over the Vegas Golden Knights. The Detroit Pistons won their 7th straight game, a 106-97 victory over the LA Clippers. The Toronto Raptors will be trying to win their 2nd game in a row when they host the powerful Boston Celtics tonight. And just over 3 weeks after the trade that stunned the sports world, Luka Doncic and his LA Lakers will host the Dallas Mavericks tonight. His new teammates believe he'll be ready and eager for the showdown with the team that abruptly shipped him out of the city, where he earned 5 All-NBA selections and where he led last season's team to the NBA Finals. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.